Happy Friday, everybody. We have another great Zoom interview for you. This is Scott Christian down in Sun City, Arizona. And Dad and I actually had the chance to meet Scott about a couple months ago when we were down in Phoenix. We stopped by his place, and this guy's terrific. You guys will really like this. He is such a great guy. He's actually the one that started the Minions group on Facebook for us, which is just incredible. Thank you again, Scott. It's just a great group of people in there. But anyway, Scott is a terrific guy. I think you guys will get a lot out of this interview. And so without further ado, here comes Scott. Have a great one, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Hey,
How you doing?
good. Long time no see.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's try this again.
Take two.
Yeah.
So those that may be watching for the first time, this is the second time that we've done this with Scott. The first time we decided for whatever reason to forget to not hit the record button. So we are doing this again, even though this seems like we're going to try and make it sound like it's very original. It's actually the retaping of interview with well, actually, you know what, Scott, I'm going to let you just kind of introduce yourself and kind of give your background a little bit about your story, and
where are you from?
Yeah, kind of a rerun from the other day.
It was rehearsal.
That's right. Perfect. That's right.
Well, originally from Michigan. Went from Michigan to Florida, back to Michigan, back to Florida, Arizona. That's that part of it. Grew up, born and raised in Michigan. Was there pretty much all my life except for 2.5 years. And then we moved to Florida, and then we moved here. That was a long story.
And
But,
here?
pardon me?
Where is here?
Arizona.
What part?
Sun City, Arizona.
Got it.
I got started is a friend of mine, I consider him a friend, named Thomas Porter, has his own barnwood business. And he sells his pieces that they can't use on like flooring or whatever. He sells them by the pound. Or scrap pieces that are too short for anything. Again, he sells them by the pound. So he had a sale going on that was your first 20 pounds for free. Anything after that was 50 cents a pound. And I found a few nice looking pieces of wood, and I decided to make some clocks. Well, I had my little Dremel tool. So I got my little Dremel tool and a little saw and a little grinder bit for it, and started carving out the back to put the clock mechanisms in it. Because they were the wood was a little bit too thick for them to go all the way through.
Yeah.
Well, that took me almost 3 hours for one.
Yeah.
So I punched up how to do the clock, back of route out the clock or whatever I said exactly, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you popped up. As Frank and Matt and all of them have said, one thing did it, and it led to this. But I did start off doing leather. So leather would just get too expensive. I mean, I can get for the same price amount of leather and the same price for the boards, I can get almost 60 signs or more out of the same price it would cost for the leather. So it's cheaper that way.
Yeah.
And then I just started watching you going, well, that's pretty much the same thing as leather. You're still following the sign or the lines. You're still carving it.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yep.
So then I got a little cheap Drill Master Harbor Freight router, and my first sign, which you showed on there, that Dad's Man Cave.
Yep.
That was made from a quarter a 1/4-inch straight bit,
Uh-huh.
and that was antique oak. At least that's what Dad says. I don't know.
Yeah.
But and then it just took off from there. I bought your profile bit, and everything just went on from there.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I want to say publicly thank you, because in case the other people that don't know that are watching this, you were the one that started the Minions Facebook group. I can't even remember the title. I just know Minions. What is it? Roten's
Make a wood sign Minions.
That's it. Yeah. Make a wood sign Minions. So I want to publicly thank you, Scott. That was really cool. And it seems like a lot of people really kind of like that group. It's kind of an extension from some of the other woodworking sign making groups. So I appreciate it, man. That was cool.
Well, not a problem. It basically, it's sign carvers of the day, but you get to see the process through the finished product.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you send it to you, you show the finished product there at the on your lives. So that's kind of why I did it, and it's easier for everybody to get together.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems to have really kind of I don't know, touched a chord with a lot of our audience. So that was it was probably something I was never going to do. So I'm glad you did that. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Not a problem. That's, I mean, this community is, to me, it seems more like a music, like the bluegrass community. Everybody's helping everybody. If you're like in the bluegrass community, if you're stuck on something, on a song or a chord or whatever, everybody's willing to jump in and help you out. And that's what that group is doing. And that really, in this whole community, you guys actually started the community.
Well,
You know, you guys started this whole thing that's going through with your videos, and then you start doing your lives. And after a while, I was watching the lives and stuff, and interacting and all that. Well, I decided one night I'm going to start from the beginning. I went all the way to the very first newsletter.
Oh my gosh.
That's brutal. Ouch.
And I actually watched you and your dad progress in each video.
Yeah.
Just like everybody progresses in the signs. Each video, you guys got a lot better and better and better.
Yeah.
The person wasn't too bad. I mean, it's your first time doing it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot worse first time videos.
It was to go back and watch those now is pretty excruciating for me. But I don't, there are some YouTubers that will take old stuff down, but I just I want it to be as real as possible. All those mistakes, all that awkwardness that we had at the beginning, I want to just leave that stuff and let everybody make up their own minds. I still think that there's content there that can be valuable for people, and it gives in case other people want to do videos, it gives them hope that we were so awkward at the beginning. Even Vicky, the first few times Vicky got on camera, it just is. It's very, very awkward. But yeah, there's a lot to see from the old days. But
Well, you've changed a lot too in your processes. Eric has learned a lot from other people that watch the channel in making suggestions and trying different things.
Absolutely.
And then Eric will bring them forward to share. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So
and that's what I like about your lives and your videos. You don't just take from your experiences. Oh, there goes the phone again.
Yeah.
You know what?
You don't take from just your experiences.
Yeah.
You feed up. Honestly, you feed up other people's YouTubes or suggestions. You actually feed up add it into your teaching, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I want to be very interactive and responsive to the community. So I don't take all the suggestions that I get, but a lot of them that I do, I'll put it in, and I may put a different twist on it or do something a little bit different, but I like to get all of that input and that feedback from you guys, so it gives me, you know, at least ideas of something that the community wants to see. So, but this is more about you. Now, you mentioned a minute ago, you mentioned that about getting help from other people on the sign groups and the minions group. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, who has actually helped you, and you know, kind of what you received from other people in the group?
Well, it was just it wasn't so much me asking a question or advice or anything. It's just reading some of the posts that they did, and then going through the comments to seeing what everybody wrote to help whoever it was, whether it was Matt or Jeff Dale or any of them.
Yeah.
Just going and reading the comments of them giving their advice or their opinion of what maybe they should do. That's kind of helped me.
Yeah.
I mean, I really haven't really run into a problem yet. And I say yet, but I really haven't run into a problem yet that I can't, going back into the leather thing with doing the carving on the leather. That kind of makes me problem solve a little bit right there on the fly.
Sure.
So I mess up a line in a word or a line on something else. I can problem solve to go back in and fix it. That goes back from me, hand carving leather.
Sure.
Don't know if I have. Oh. I'll just do this. Makes it easier to read.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
And that's all freehand, just like the wood signs are.
Yeah. Well, and that
just from two.
That's that like that koozie on your mug, then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I've made beer wraps, bottles. I've made can ones. If I get some leather, I'm gonna make you and your dad a can one.
So what are those?
But
what are those signs behind you?
Well, I started off just putting my name for wood signs.
Yeah.
For the business name.
Yeah.
But then I got thinking about it, and just about everybody uses their name for their business in this or in leather or whatever. So I come up with a new name, but I haven't got the lettering design right yet.
Got it.
And then this one is one I made the other day from one of your templates, the beer mug.
Yeah.
And I went to Walmart and bought some 4-inch letters.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I was making something for somebody. And the Christmas lights weren't quite out yet. And I bought something for I was going to do something for Mother too. But then I realized that this was only 20 lights. And I needed 50.
Very cool.
That's very cool. I like that. Yeah.
And I realized I needed 50 even for Mother's. So I knew I was going to I knew I was going to put lights in something. I figured, well, I got the mugs. Why not just make a bar sign?
Yeah, I like that.
And Mother suggested doing beer. Well, I didn't hear that. So I didn't get the 2 E's.
Oh, okay.
And then when I come back, I realized a couple days later, I went back. Walmart did not have the 4-inch letter E's. None. I found the F's, but going off your suggestions, don't make do with what you have for the letters.
Yeah.
Because the F wouldn't have looked right with the line in there.
Right.
It wouldn't have flowed right. So I waited. I went to a different Walmart and bought 2 E's. That's my next. My next sign is going to say beer with the 2 mugs on the side. And then Mother and Dad started doing puzzles.
Uh-huh.
The first one they did was, I think it was a 500-piece puzzle. Took them almost 2 months. Well, because of that, I decided I'm going to do a frame. So I built one frame for it and carved it out. And then we got another 300 piece. And it took them a week. And then this is kind of what.
Oh, very
look at
cool.
That is really.
I found that at Walmart. I think it was Hobby Lobby. I think. Found that one at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
That's one of yours.
Oh, one of our little scroll things. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then this one and that one's one of yours.
Yeah. The cowboy.
That's cool. I like
that
that.
really came out nice. Cool looking frame, man. Very cool.
And then I found this on the internet. Well, I found this for when I was doing leather.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do this on a bottle wrap I made.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
you sent me that. We've got one similar to that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. What's the thing?
And that one.
What are those at the end? Little star buttons?
Yeah, they're little leather conchos.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Glued in. I actually drilled a little bit of a hole because it's got a Chicago screw on the end of it.
Yeah, got it.
So
Yeah.
drilled a little bit of a hole, not all the way through, but drilled the hole and then glued it in.
Yeah. Nice touch.
And Tessa actually helped me out with this one. It's not that deep.
Okay.
You can see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I went to sand it, and I could not figure out why I was getting so many high spots.
Yeah.
I went through that thing 3 times with the 90-degree bit.
Yeah.
And still was getting high spots. Well, then Tessa come up with, why don't you just go deeper? And once now I feel it, I can see it's not that deep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it did like that. And then off your We the People sign.
Oh, very nice. That's the first time I've seen it. I did my version inset, but that looks good outset. Very nice. And
again, that was not very deep either. So this whole thing, yeah, it looked black, but it was so white.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, and then as you can see on this one here, it's a lot deeper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This didn't quite go deep enough, so that's a lesson learned. No big deal. Get it figured out.
That's very common at the beginning, that people just don't tend to go as deep. They think they don't want to go too deep, but that's a very common thing. Very common. So I know when we talked on the other one that we didn't record, we talked a little bit about marketing and flea market and different things that you're doing. Can you kind of go into that a little bit?
Well, a few years ago, or actually, let's see, this will be my 3rd season there. So yeah, about 2 years ago, I started going up this flea market in Whitman, Arizona. There's a little free, open field flea market that costs anything to set up. So all first come, first serve. I started doing selling my leather work there.
Uh-huh.
Well, then everybody there is telling me I should come up with other stuff and everything. And I'm not, I wasn't even thinking about that. And then now with this wood signs, eventually I'm gonna grow up and get into I'm gonna grow up and be a sign carver. Eventually I'm gonna get where I can do on-site stuff.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I got to figure out a way to do it to where it's not so bothersome for the other vendors with the generator and all that. I thought maybe trying to think about using the battery operated ones, but Frank kind of taught me out of that one.
Yeah, the battery operated ones are okay, but you got to have a lot of batteries if you're going to work with them all day. You got to have a lot of batteries, and there are some issues with power and different things. If you can get by with either a generator, or if wherever you're at, if they have electricity available, some places do, some places don't. But that's really the best way. I know some people have even used inverters and actually used an inverter to charge batteries and run off the battery system. That can be done. So there are ways to get around it. But carving on site is pretty cool if you can figure it out.
I watched your opening video, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I watched the one video, I believe it was Ryan's on-site trailer.
With his trailer, yeah.
It was either him or the one that you guys went to that had the Adirondack chairs.
Danny.
That was Danny. Danny Santolucido. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was, but I love the one sign. We're closed because deer season's open.
That'd be Ryan.
That would be Ryan. Yeah. That would be Ryan.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be Ryan.
That's a Ryan.
And there was another one on the sign Carvers that I'm going to steal. Oh, and I'm going to steal that one from Ryan too. But there's another one I'm going to steal, and I believe it was on the Minions page. It said, private property. Owner too old to run, too fat to run, and too lazy to argue. And it had two pistols pointing at it. I'm going to steal that 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, get all kinds of inspiration from that site. I'm on three other, like two other ones or three other ones, sign carver ones.
Yeah.
And
there are so many
just what
people out there, so many creative people, so many cool ideas that they're really. I know I hear once in a while, oh, I'm kind of in a funk where I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything to do. And oh my gosh, that's where Google really comes into play, and these other woodworking guys, these other sign makers. But you can just type something funny about any subject that you can think of, whether it's a sports or whether it's any subject, and you can find a billion ideas. So many.
Well, and my thing I was thinking about doing is going through and taking movie quotes.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like yours with Tombstone.
Yep.
And you guys just scratched the surface with Tombstone.
Oh, I know.
There are so many one-liners in there that are phenomenal.
There's at least 100 one-liners out of there. At least 100.
Yeah.
We just scratched the surface. But you could say that about so many different movies. If people are Princess fans or Young Frankenstein fans, or any movie that is kind of iconic, you could probably come up with 20 to 50 one-liners out of there. And the thing about that kind of deal, if you're making those as a stock item when you're out on site somewhere, not necessarily carving on site, but if you had those, it causes people to stop and read. And that's the part that people sometimes they don't grasp. But if you have 100 different things out there for people to stop and read, and one of them kind of hits their funny bone, so to speak, man, they'll read every one of them. And the more people that you have in front of your spot, the better off you are.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buddy. Well, let's see. Anything, I always try to integrate this on these for somebody. You're kind of new. You've been doing this how long now?
Since June.
Since June. So you're new with this. But let's.
I'm still a wet behind the ears rookie.
But for people that have only been doing this a week, do you have any specific advice for them, or any kind of little words of wisdom?
Practice, 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 practice. And also, we are, as sign carvers, our own worst enemy.
Yeah. Yep.
We are so picky.
Yep.
Take a picture of it, put it out there on any format you're with. If you're on a sign carvers, hand routed stuff, whatever, put it out there and ask opinions.
Yeah.
And ask advice. Just get out there, do that. That's kind of why I made the Minions page too, because of our own worst enemy type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can put something out there and say, well, I'm not really happy with this.
Right.
What do you guys think?
Well, and the thing is too, I think that's a really good point. One thing beyond that, the thing is too, I find that this community, however it happens, is so supportive. Even people that think what they're making is not good enough or whatever, everybody kind of supports everybody else. And you very, very rarely hear negative comments. It's always trying to help and constructive criticism, maybe some ideas of ways to make it better. I'm a big believer in staying positive and not throwing negative out there. If you know the old adage, if you don't have something positive to say, something, then then just don't even comment. But I'm a big believer in that. I think this whole community seems to, by and large, have that same type of attitude.
Yeah, everybody so far that I've seen on the ones that I'm on, and even the one that I made, everybody is supportive. Everybody likes it. I mean, everybody I see, somebody said I didn't like something, the paint didn't come out right or whatever.
Right.
Every single person on there said, we are our own worst critics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
It looks great. Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're our own worst critics, but I'd maybe do this. And that's what I love about even our little group.
Yeah.
Everybody says the same thing.
Yep.
Of course, everybody's giving praises to the two people who really started this whole community. And every praise they have, they do. You guys are phenomenal.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you. That it really means a lot. It's very sometimes it's very humbling, and I never want to get to the point where we aren't grateful for all of you guys that not only kind of give us compliments and kind things to say, but also obviously support us business-wise. That keeps us going. But again, it's not about me, not about us. This is about you. So I think we're kind of we're coming down to the end. We've been on about a half hour now. So thanks again,
we did
buddy.
Record this time.
Yeah, I can see we're actually.
I see it saying recording.
Yeah. So thank you so much, my friend. And again, we're not that far away. You head up the way, definitely stop by so we can get out into the shop and play a little bit. All right, buddy. Thanks so much, man.
Hey, not a problem.
Great conversation. Thank you for adding to this group. Thank you for putting the group together, and we just really appreciate you, man. And I know everybody's going to get some value and get a kick out of this interview. I know everybody's going to love it.
Oh, I think so. I mean, I'm halfway decent. I'm not that bad looking,
Yeah. The camera is kind.
Yes, it is. Very kind.
All right, brother. You
guys get ready for the live.
Okay, man. We'll see you about 4.5 hours or 5.5 hours, something.
5.5 hours.
Yep. All right, brother. Have a good
All right, brother.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.